Hi, my name is Frederick Bolton, and we're going to be addressing how music has affected society in terms of infancy up to adulthood. I'll be covering infancy. Now, it's fairly common knowledge that parents expose their children to music at an early age. Sometimes it may be even in the womb, at the start of infancy, and even as toddlers. There are recent studies to support this idea, though. When an infant is exposed to music, the effects can even take place before birth. So, when a parent has a child in their womb, later on, the effects can show in terms of physical and mental development after birth. Even further than that, it's well known that a child's mind is like a sponge as well. So, when you have a child who hears music on a daily basis, not only does that physical and mental development after that's been had, the child can begin growing to learn melodies and patterns more often because music carries melodies within itself and patterns. So even further than that as well, when parents even sing to their children, with the words and the music together, it helps the baby to learn language faster and to retain the words for a longer amount of time. This is showcased in like how even as adults we remembered old like nursery rhymes way before our adolescence, and those things come back in our memory because the music and the words put together help us retain things longer.
Hi, my name is Kendall, and I'm going to be talking about brain development in music. It says here that music instruction appears to accelerate brain development in young, and the fine-tuning of their auditory pathway could accelerate their development of language, really meaning if somebody who studies music and somebody who didn't try to attempt to learn the same language simultaneously, the person who studied music probably would adapt to learn the language faster. The enhanced maturity reflects an increase in neuroplasticity, which is really just the brain's ability to change and adapt. So depending on what the experience and the situation is, a musician and a non-musician more than likely in most cases will respond differently. They have an enhanced perception of reading and encoding, and it's a potential effect in which scientists are continuing to study. As kids get older and become more impressionable and they decide which music they want to hear, they're drawn to whatever is the fantasy they have in their minds. And most teenagers are attracted to rap fantasies and glamorous lifestyles and dangerous lifestyles because that's what they're most exposed to. And so in certain studies, it's been said that music influences your subconscious, and so if that's what you're constantly listening to, you may start to adapt to or display social behaviors that may be dangerous in nature or flashy in nature, depending on which part of the glamorous or dangerous fantasies in rap culture you are more attracted to. Teens fall in Generation Z, and that's ages 13 to 19 and a little bit above, but we grouped Generation Z and Generation Y because the age gap was so wide. For teens and in poor communities, rap kind of just speaks to their realities, whether they're harsh or glamorous, and their fantasies of escape. And like all forms of music, rap offers a creative outlet and a way to connect to others.
Hi, my name is Lamari Boone, and I will be telling you how music has affected adults in society today. Most adults were born in the era of the baby boomer, which was between the time of 1944 and 1964. Their musical influences were rock and roll, pop, and the pop culture in general. The influences that music from that time caused them to have was to be more community involved. They value individual choices. They live up to their own expectations no matter what anyone thinks. They're very goal oriented. They're adaptive to any workplace. And majority of the adults that were born in that time have positive attitudes, which comes from just the type of music and the environment that they were around at the time. During this time, there was a huge rise in mass media, radio, television, commercials, and ads as well. They didn't have much technology then, so messages were kind of subliminal within the music. So basically, they expressed themselves through the music that they were listening to. They had a voice through the music that they were listening to, the lyrics that they learned. They learned to have a voice through that, which kind of networked out to other places. People learned how to have a voice through music, not only just listen to it and enjoy it, but have a voice. Most people during this time also focused on, most of the music caused people to focus on individual choices. Basically, you have your own voice. It was more about, personal freedom, not like cultural or anything like that. Just having personal freedom with your own life, having your freedom of speech, being able to say what you want to say, be able to stand up for what you want to stand up for. And during this time, that was very important. They felt like they were lacking that. They were lacking their voice. So basically, the music was their voice that they didn't have. And it's kind of between all the generation. It's towards the end of Generation Z, Generation Y, Generation X, and the baby boomers are all kind of in one. But I would say the baby boomers had the most difficulty having a voice within society. So
because of that time era.
Yeah, because of that era.
Yeah.
So the only thing they really had to voice their opinion or how they felt about something was the music, and they used that, and we're here now.
Yeah, on me. I ain't gonna...
How you doing? My name is Deontay Harris, and I'm here to wrap up everything that we have talked to you about today. So as we all know from our thesis, music expresses different moods and can affect your listener's emotional experience in various ways. It can make a perceiver feel happy or even feel off. It can stir someone up or become more calming for their current situation. Music has influenced us throughout society, from infants to adulthood, using scientific study such as classical, rock, contemporary, and hip-hop. Each genre, of course, has its own effect on each listener, but it still does not contrast with the fact that the hypothesis still stands as factual. Therefore, if Americans are spending on average more than 4.5 hours listening to music a day, don't you believe that the music that they listen to make them a better person or influence someone else? Therefore saying, so all music creatives should understand the importance behind the compositions and works that they create.